We are live. Ray Studios, Osiris here. We get together, we do these collabs, and we just for short, you can call it PCD, Prestige Culture Dynamics. That means no politics, but a lot of fun. We've got Ray. How you feeling, Ray?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing wonderful, bruh, and we're gonna talk about an array of topics today. The big ones we have in our mind are the Super Mario Brothers movie review. That's gonna be through Ray. I'm gonna ask him all the questions. I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait to watch it, but he has. He's got a lot of thoughts on it. I have a lot of thoughts on the state of Montana, the beautiful state of Montana. We on these shows we pick a state every day. Every week we do this to talk about. Montana will be up for discussion. And then what's that, other than that? We're gonna talk about movies, bad movies, maybe even get into Star Wars debate a little bit. Star
Yeah,
Wars. So
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And by the way, guys, we're sorry we're running a little late. We ran into some troubles setting things up, and plus I got up a little too late anyway. So yeah, about 10 minutes afterwards. So I had to restart everything and get it all ready. So I'm sorry about that. I'll try to do better with that next time.
Oh, come on, bro. We're not getting paid. We grateful to have this morning, beautiful Sunday morning. Thanks
Mhm.
for joining, and we're gonna have a good discussion.
Yeah, you know something? It's supposed to be pretty warm out because we're in spring now, but up here in Iowa, it's cold as you know what, man. Right
Mm.
now, yeah, Iowa weather, man, it's something else.
Yeah, we had my kids' football and soccer got canceled because there was some snow, but it's gonna get better.
Yeah, I'm just getting sick of seeing the snow. Well, we don't have any snow up here right now. It's just cold. Like, yeah, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was getting so used to it already. I was getting so used to it because, like, for a week or two, it was nothing but beautiful weather, and then all of a sudden, the cold came back in. So I was like, yeah.
So
Mhm.
I used to live in Minnesota, and I've never experienced any type of cold like when I lived up there. I mean, north of where you are, just north of Iowa, Minnesota. Woo wee! I'm soft now though. In Colorado, when it gets Colorado, it really doesn't really get that cold because the sun's out. I get kind of soft because back in the day, I'd be out there in -10.
Ah,
Now it gets to like 30, 20. I'm like, ooh, it's cold outside. So it's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. No, I can deal with the cold, but no, when it gets really when I was getting used to the warm weather, and then all of a sudden, yeah, yeah, all right,
You know.
yeah,
But
all
I
right.
want to talk about the Super Mario because my kids are excited for it. We just haven't gotten the chance to go do it. Maybe we'll just rent it when it comes out. But
Well,
what's the deal?
well, before that, I think you should
Oh,
actually
okay.
go. I think you should really go see the movie to support it, though. I
Yo,
really think you should. Yeah, like I actually like go to watch it because like if you just like rent it when it comes out, like yeah, it's fine, but still though, like it should be making more money than it is right now. It's making great money, but should be making even more. So because it's a really good movie in my opinion, really good.
how much money is it making?
Um, it's just under $1 billion. Let me check that out.
Whoa, it's under a
Just
billion already?
let me check it out. I know it's not out of the billion yet,
Movies
but
don't make
it
billies. I mean, what's the last one? Spider Man? What's the last movie that made a billy?
Avatar 2 made 2 billion.
Oh yeah, Avatar 2. Yeah, I saw that too. It was
Super
all right.
Super Mario Bros has made 739 million
Okay.
dollars right now.
Okay. And
Uh,
you trying to tell me that that's worth it then, huh?
yeah, it's
It's
worth it.
good.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, I think the movie's really good. Like as you saw, I did like a shorts right after I saw it. Like immediately after I got out of the theater, I immediately did like a quick minute review and then posted it on our channel.
Yeah, so if you do you watch Rotten? Do you go to Rotten Tomatoes at all for the reviews?
I do it sometimes, but at the same time, I just really don't care because let's just say I have questions about the critics, their ethnicity, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be a great site, like a lot of things in our country, kind of
I,
corrupted in a way. But
but a-
the what's that?
but after the Last Jedi, Captain Marvel, and
Mm,
Last of Us, I lost all trust in critics.
yeah,
Last of
it's
Us Part Two, I should say.
yeah. But you can go for the audience score, which you can't. I don't know how much you can trust that, but just to let you know, Super Mario Brothers movie has a 96% audience score and 59% Rotten Tomatoes. So we're seeing a weird thing in reviews now where the audience is way off from where the critics are. What do you what would you rate it on a percent like this?
percentage that's hard. I go more out of 10. I
Okay.
would say a 7 or 7.5 out of 10.
7.5. Okay.
I would say
Okay.
that. Like, it's not a perfect movie by any means, but I really liked it though. Like, yeah. And plus, I was talking with Carlos after the movie came out because I immediately texted him talking to him about the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and like for overall we mostly agree except on one thing though. Like, I'll just get this out of the way. I'll get this out of the way front and center. It's not. There's a certain word that we cannot use on this channel. It's not that word. It's not the movie's not that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
referring to. It's not
Yeah.
that. But I do think like a Mario did get this is just for me a story issue. Mario, in my opinion, got overshadowed in certain parts of the movie. Just overshadowed. Carlos and I disagreed on that, but I think me and him just saw the movie a little different way. I think that's why me and him disagree on that part. It has something to do with Princess Peach. That's why I think he got a little overshadowed throughout the movie. Not all the time, but at certain points in the movie.
Yeah. So this is this movie, the trailer to this movie really got me, man. And the visuals, let's talk about the visuals. I mean, it looks amazing just on the screen. I mean, I couldn't imagine on the movie theater.
Here's something interesting, and you're gonna think I'm making this up, but I was in one of those super screen DLX theaters, those big ones. I was actually the only person in that theater.
You're the only person.
Yep, the only person. I was shocked about that.
Wow. About what time of the day? On Saturday?
No, it was a Sunday.
Oh.
Was it? Let me recheck that.
It doesn't
think
matter.
I think it was around 3 or 4 o'clock, somewhere around that time. Oh,
Yeah, that is weird because wouldn't that be normally like the Sunday? Is that Sunday matinee time where a lot of people would go to movies right before dinner?
yeah,
You know, man.
yeah. And
That's
the
sad to
movie,
see.
the movie's only like an hour and a half long, and it moves around pretty quick.
That's good.
Like,
I think that's good.
I think there was one part of the movie, just one part where I thought like, you jump from this, then you jump to that in almost like that quickly. I can't say because it'd be a spoiler, but when you get to it's before the let's just say the final conflict starts. Like, you realize wait, you just went from this to that like that quickly. Like that's the only that's something that was a little off for me.
Yeah, I will say that a lot of movies have drug on a little bit too long. Like I did see the last Avatar, the one that was set in the water, and it was basically an exact replica of the first one, very similar, and it went on way too long at the end. So, I haven't seen the Mario. I'm going to take your word for it. Do you think it was the right length, or could it have been a little bit longer? Or what do you think?
It could have maybe been up to like 5, maybe even 10 minutes longer, but that's really it in my
Not bad.
opinion.
Not bad. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the chat. There's been a lot of discussion about it, and for me, the nostalgia is a big thing. So, are you familiar with the Mario Brothers like video games and all that?
I love the video games. I grew up playing them with my cousin. Like the movie is almost exactly like the plot of the game, almost exactly. But it's before they find the Mushroom Kingdom, though.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Mushroom Kingdom, you can obviously see it's in the movie. It's pretty clear, obvious.
Yep.
Like a lot of people a lot of the critics are saying like Grace Randolph. I'm pretty sure you've heard of her. If you watched Carlos's show where he did with Jason, talking about her, where she said that there's really no story whatsoever. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why that happens, but like, she was saying there was really no story whatsoever. It's basically like the story is who gets to be Princess Peach's boyfriend, pretty much. That's what the games were.
Yeah.
If you played the games, that is exactly what it was.
Yeah, it's the classic Save the Princess is what it was, right? The video games.
Yes. It's a little different in the movie though. Just
yeah. Because we can't have that.
I was
we
like,
can't have that anymore, right?
yeah. I was like we live in a time where you cannot avoid that. It's impossible to avoid that. So
Yeah.
I gave that a little pass right there. But they at least tried to make some explanation as to why, which I was fine with it. But I thought they could have been a little more added to it, though.
Yeah. Man, look, I'm just looking at the visuals. I'm like, damn, that looks dope. And they had Mario Kart in there. I love Mario Kart. They had the Mario Kart kind of references in there.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. Chris Pratt and Jack Black were the best parts of the movie, in my view.
Wow, that's a controversial one because Everybody was dissing Chris Pratt though. So how did that turn out?
He was really good as Mario. Like at first, like the first couple minutes, I didn't realize it was Chris Pratt because the thing was I was actually looking for him. Actually, I didn't hear him for the first few minutes, and then after a little bit, I realized, oh yeah, this is definitely Chris Pratt. It definitely is. Like when you first watch the movie, when you watch it, you may not realize that it's Chris Pratt at first, but after a few minutes, you will realize it. You will. And
Oh, that's good.
yeah, and he did a great job as Mario. Like, and there a lot of people are talking about like he doesn't have the Italian accent; he has a New York accent. Like the original voice actor for Mario in the video games, his name is what, Charles Martin something. I forgot exactly what his name was, but he makes a cameo in the movie as a voice. He does. It's pretty. You knew it right away when it happened. Like it was pretty cool when you saw it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then Jack Black did Bowser, of course.
He was phenomenal. Dope. Phenomenal. Like the singing he does as Bowser in the movie it's awesome, man. Like yeah.
Is it just one scene? Wait, he's not throughout?
Yeah, he does. He's all throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He's the big villain.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying was he sings in the movie.
Oh, he sings. Oh yeah. He's got to sing in damn near every movie. He's dope. He's a good singer. I think he's a good artist. Musician.
Yeah. And the animation of the film was good. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was fine. I didn't have too much of a problem with that, but like, yeah, obviously I do have my issues with Seth Rogen, but yeah. But also, who else? The end credit scene of the movie sets up the sequel.
Of course, you got to.
I won't say exactly what it is, but I'll say this though: you see an egg cracking open. You see an egg. You see an egg cracking open in the end credit scene. When you see it, you'll realize what it is.
Okay,
you will. Like it was pretty cool, man. Really cool. Like a lot of fun. I love them. I really like the movie. Really like it.
Yeah. Has there ever been a Legend of Zelda movie? I think there was. That was one of my favorites.
I don't recall off the top of my head. Let me check.
Yeah. I mean, since even if there was, don't worry about it. Even if there was, I would like to see them do since they did Mario Brothers. I mean, you could bring back any one of these Nintendo 16-bit, any one of these games that originated that has that type of nostalgia with it. You could bring it back and do something like, just keep it going. Kind of like Marvel.
Yeah. Well, Marvel, right now is, like, we won't get into that really, but you know where I was going with that.
Yeah, but I mean, what else could you bring back? Legend of Zelda. You could do Castlevania to make it almost like a horror movie. Maybe you could do Mega Man.
They tried Dark Crystal, which I thought that was pretty great. But
I didn't see that. Okay.
But the movie Dark Crystal, they made a prequel show about the Dark Crystal, and it was phenomenal. But it got canceled after one season, though. It got canceled by Netflix. So yeah. Which I didn't understand why it got canceled, though. What else? But the movie overall, Super Mario's, I think I'm going to buy it when it comes out on 4K. I am. Because I really, really enjoy the movie. And I think it's something my sister would love. Because when it comes out on 4K, I'm actually going to show her the movie.
Good. Yeah. My kids and we're going to watch it too. They don't know much about Mario Brothers. They just know a little bit, but I'm looking forward to it. So good. Sounds like you would. This is a thumbs up. It sounds like a thumbs up for sure.
Yeah.
From Ray.
7.5, probably 7.5. I'll give it out of 10.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. I'll say that.
Yeah. So if anybody goes out and sees it, maybe we can get some comments back here. If you've already seen it, let us know. Yeah. Cool, Ray. Anything else on the Mario Brothers?
I don't really have a whole lot much more to say because, other than the fact that the movie was really fun and stuff like that, like the opening scene, you already knew what was going to happen right then, and it just set up what was going to happen. Like it was really cool, and I don't think I'll say too much more on that because I don't want to spoil you because I want you to actually go watch the movie and have a great time watching it.
Yeah, no, good review with no spoilers, man. That's not easy to do. So,
yeah, I watch a whole lot of movie review channels, so yeah.
Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, I know. I watch a few of them. Some of them they're very good. My favorite. Shout out to Pop. I always mess it up when I try to say it.
Pop culture,
Yeah,
pop culture
Pop.
crisis.
Yes, thank you. You say it for me. That's one of my favorite channels. They do great reviews.
Another show guy you should check out. I believe you're subscribed to him because I told you who he is.
OMB.
Tyrone Magnus.
Oh, okay. No.
He's like you remember that Madonna video thing he reviewed where like 50 Cent was roasting Madonna.
Yeah. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh.
He also does movie reviews too.
Yeah, we covered that. Remember? We covered that way back in the day.
Very funny, Carlos. Very funny, man. Very funny.
Wait, Carlos did something? What did he say?
Look at what he commented on.
Oh wow. Carlos did a drive-by. Carlos drove by like, and then just kept on driving.
But that's nothing compared.
Carlos?
That's nothing compared to what Sal posted on Facebook yesterday.
What did Sal post?
He posted a thing of Bud. He posted a can of Bud Light, and with the Cowboys logo on it, and the caption caption on it. Yeah, like.
Oh, we can't even say what he captioned, or
no, we can't. We can't say it.
I think we have an idea where it was going.
Yeah, we can't say it. So yeah,
Carlos,
I'll send it to you after we're done here. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And the great friend of the show, Nathaniel Erskine. This is when me and Ray, we want to do, would it be fair to say, Ray, that it's kind of like a political detox?
You could
a
say
little
that.
bit. I mean, it's hard. It's very hard to talk. We can't even talk about Super Mario Brothers without acknowledging the ether of politics. Yeah, but it's kind of like a politics detox. And there's so many topics we want to talk about that had nothing to do with politics. So we came together with this PCD.
Yeah, but Tyrone Magnus, he does movie reviews and TV reviews. You should actually go watch some more of them. Like, he does a whole lot of good stuff. He also does he also does reactions to like trailers and stuff like that. So yeah, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. One of my favorites.
I love that whole genre that's kind of propped up now. We never got that. You know, back in the day, I'm dating myself. Have you ever even heard of Siskel and Ebert?
I don't think so, actually.
Wow. So you see, we should call this one the odd couple or something like that, with the old fogey like me and then the young man in Ray. Somebody in the chat help me out. I'm drowning here. Ray doesn't remember. So Siskel and Ebert was just a show that they were the best reviewers to me. Ebert was a little bit heavier guy. Siskel was a little thinner. And they would do thumbs up, thumbs down. They had great interviews. Yeah, just the review. Ray did a review on Super Mario Brothers. He said thumbs up, 7.5.
Yeah.
Broken Traditions. Do you remember Siskel and Ebert? Don't leave me hanging here. Somebody lie to me. Act like you remember them. But they used to do reviews. But what my point is, now that this genre has propped up online, people will do a review of trailers, and they'll analyze every single Easter egg. We never had that before. We had just general discussion.
Yeah. You also watch The Critical Drinker too, do you?
No, I haven't seen that.
You got
Oh no.
The Critical
Broken
Drinker,
Traditions. Oh no.
The Critical Drinker is one of the most funny reviewers of all time. By far one of the most. And he also does collabs with not only Tyrone Magnus, but also Geeks and Gamers and Nerd Erotic. Like, he brings them on his show.
Geeks and Gamers, Nerd Erotic, excellent. I mean, right now, my favorites are still Pop Culture Crisis and I don't know if you know OMB Reviews. Yeah. This is a guy that used to do, I remember when his channel, I followed him from when he had like a couple thousand subscribers, and he was doing politics. And we get strike video, and he was like, forget that, and then did culture, and he's just excellent at it.
Yeah. Carlos did say, like, I remember them. They were the go-to critics before the internet.
They were the go-to. They were the number one thing. I loved their show. I forget if it was an hour and a half, an hour, but they went boom, 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 boom. Broken Tradition says, after they gave Bebe Kids a thumbs down, I never trusted them. A lot of people don't know Bebe's Kids. That's a hilarious cartoon.
Yeah. But like I said, Carlos and I overall we agree with we really like the movie. Like I said, there's something in the movie that we can't really talk about that I disagree with him on. Like it's not a you know what word I can't say here, but the movie, in my opinion, that was just a story flaw. That wasn't like a you know what thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, yeah. But look, Black Pegasus, we've got YouTube royalty, well, Broken Traditions and Prime Animations. We got a bunch of royalty in the chat today, man. It's crazy. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Black Pegasus, go check out their channels, Broken Traditions, Prime Animations, Black Pegasus. And thank you for giving me a lifeline, bruh. I'm out here talking about Siskel and Ebert, and these young bucks are looking at me like I'm crazy. So,
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah, sorry about that. My camera, I'm blacked out for a second. Yeah, I'm back
It's all
now.
good. Yep, it's all good. I don't know if your mic changed, but I can still hear you, so you're fine.
Let me fix that.
Yeah.
Continue talking.
Yeah. So if you're just stopping by, we're trying to be consistent with this. PCD, Ray, thanks for coming up with the logo and idea, Prestige Culture Dynamics, and we're just going to talk about, basically that's a lot of syllables to say no politics. Anything that's not political.
This better?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Now we had a. Are you ready to go to the sidetrack of the debate? What kind of the debate about Last Jedi, or I don't know?
You mean Return of the Jedi?
I mean, Return.
Yes, we can't talk. We're not allowed to talk Last Jedi on this channel. We're not allowed to, because it would get into stuff. It would get into stuff that would like cross the line right here for the show. We wouldn't be allowed to. So
yes, and my take on The Last Jedi is a controversial one. I actually liked it, but we'll move on from that. I'm one of the few people that did. I actually liked it, believe it or not. But
I almost walked out of that movie.
Yeah, some people. So I have to, a lot of Star Wars fans hated it.
Most fans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they destroyed it. And you know what? The culture wars were going on back then. We're not, getting into the politics stuff, but I didn't even know it back then. I was blue pilled. But what did you say? You said you got some news about Return of the Jedi?
Yep. This is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and it's returning to theaters. I'm going to see it because I actually never saw it in the theaters, obviously. I mean, they did a 40th anniversary showing of like Empire Strikes Back, and I actually went to go see it. And it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever seen. And I didn't get to see the New Hope 40th anniversary. I'll probably go in like 4 years when they do the 50th anniversary, which is, I believe, is in 2027. So yeah. Oh, my boy Carlos said the best thing. The new trilogy is terrible, but actually it's not terrible. It's awful. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of get into that, but just to make sure everybody heard and understood the news, Return of the Jedi is set to return to theaters. That is the last that's episode, was it 3, 4,
6?
That's episode 6, 4, 5, 6. That series, the first ones that came out were episodes 4, 5, and 6. And Return of the Jedi, and I kind of have mixed feelings about it because Return of the Jedi was actually my least favorite of 4, 5, and 6. What do you think about that?
The original trilogy,
great.
All three in the original trilogy, they're on the same pedestal. They're all equally as good, and I don't care what anyone says. Like if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick which one was better,
okay,
it's
which one?
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, I was about to say. So we were gonna have a controversy we still do kind of have a controversy. Empire Strikes Back is up on the pedestal. There is no Star Wars movie that's even close to me. That it's there. It's up there.
A New Hope is like A New Hope and Return of the Jedi are dead close, like literally dead close. And it's literally and the only reason I'm picking it is because if I had a gun to my head or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I will say this though, Empire Strikes Back is better than Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I'll say that. Up front.
Oh yeah, but that's tough though, man. That's tough. Empire Strikes Back is just up there. And how many movies do we see where at the end you could argue at the end of Empire Strikes Back the bad guys won?
Actually, they did win.
Yeah,
Han Solo was in carbonite. Vader kicked Luke's ass and cut his hand off. So, and guess what? That and the greatest twist in all of history, the greatest twist no one could have even thought of. I am your father. It's that, and as you know, that was not originally what was supposed to happen. Well, actually, because originally what they were here's what was supposed to happen. it was always they had it be Luke, and they had Vader be Luke's father, but in the script it didn't say that. It said you don't know the truth. Obi-Wan killed your father. They wrote that in the script. Only George Lucas and Aaron Kirshner, the director, knew that.
Oh,
They didn't tell anyone that. And the only people they told were Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones, obviously.
James Earl Jones.
But they didn't. Apparently, they didn't even record it till like the last second before the movie even premiered. Apparently, something like that. And then they told Mark Hamill, but it was only right before they filmed the scene. Like Aaron Kirshner, the director, went into like Mark Hamill's dressing room and he didn't say it. He just handed him a piece of paper that said it because he didn't, in case he accidentally said someone else heard it.
Man,
and yeah, can you imagine? And like Mark Hamill actually said this when he saw the paper. He was like, "Is that true?" And then Aaron Kirshner said, "Well, you search your feelings, you know the truth." Like.
One of the most epic movie moments right there.
And then like no one even knew about it except them when the movie premiered. And Mark Hamill said when that scene happened, Harrison Ford turned to him and said, "Hey kid, you didn't effing tell me that." Like
he was in Indiana Jones or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Mark Hamill, when he said that, he actually said it in an actual like Harrison Ford voice, and he actually sounded like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's talented, but what are the best?
Although I don't like Mark Hamill the person though. So
But wait, what's the best? What are the best scenes in Return of the Jedi? I hate to sound like I'm dissing it, but
the best scene is when Luke was being shocked by the Emperor, and then Vader was looking back and forth because we don't talk about we don't talk about that. And then like Vader, when he was watching that, he couldn't bear to watch it, and he made a choice to kill the Emperor to save his son. Well, I don't like I said, I don't care what the sequel trilogy says. I don't consider it canon. Vader killed the Emperor, and that's the end of the story right there to me.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the best. You know which one's underrated though? I like talking about. It's the one where the newer ones. It's episode 3. What was episode 3 called? Sorry, let me.
Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh, that is. Have you gone? When's the last time you watched Revenge of the Sith?
A few weeks ago, actually.
Okay, so you're fresh. You've watched it more recent than me.
I was watching all the first 6 of them like I'm straightforward.
Okay, so tell me if you agree with this. Revenge of the Sith is the most underrated Star Wars movie. That movie was fire. Going back, because the first one was whack. I mean, I don't want to say it was whack. It was still good. Phantom Menace.
I like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but even though Attack of the Clones is like, but I still like it though. I like, and here's a joke I heard, and it's so hilarious. I actually agree with it. The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker make Attack of the Clones look like Citizen Kane. Carlos, you will agree with me on that. You will agree with me on that.
Here's my controversial thing, and I know this is where I'm about to get ratioed. I already know. I like The Last Jedi, man. I thought it was fire. And to me, though, what they did, it was a little bit too long, but what they did was they just recreated the Empire Strikes Back in a way with The Last Jedi.
I'm sorry, but when you change a character that, like Luke, what they did to him, that was not Luke. Like that was not Luke in The Last Jedi. Even Mark Hamill said that was not Luke.
Yeah, I know, but you could see what they were doing, where Kylo Ren took off the mask. Was that in the last where he smashed it? Yeah. So you could see them trying to say, "Hey, we want to destroy the old stuff, and we're doing our own." But you don't think the fight scene with what are the red guys in that room? You don't think that was dope?
No, that was
with Rey fighting with Kylo Ren.
That scene was awful.
Why does everybody hate that?
The choreography was terrible in that.
I gotta watch that again, man. I love that.
I can't say it out loud. At least I don't know.
Yeah, you can say it. Carlos, it was how they took Luke and made him, snowflake.
Jake Skywalker.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill said that was not Luke. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
Luke in Return of the Jedi was willing to sacrifice himself to save his father, who is the
yeah,
most
no,
evil person in the galaxy, who literally murdered children. If you watch Revenge of the Sith,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
and then sorry,
It's all good.
okay, I'm back now. Well, here's what I was saying was, and then Kylo Ren has a dream, just a dream of doing something bad, and Luke
Hmm.
tries to kill him in his sleep.
Hmm.
You see
Yeah,
that? Where does that make any sense? It makes no
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's. I gotta watch it again and see, but there was the visuals were cool. I know the force projection was very controversial,
No.
where that was really controversial.
And you know something that doesn't make any sense? You
It's,
can't weaponize hyperspeed. You can't do that. It changes
mhm,
everything in Star Wars.
yeah,
If you could do that, why don't all ships just hyperspeed at each other? Like they just get a
yeah,
droid and they're in just hyperspeed back and forth. Why didn't they do that with the Death Star then? It doesn't make any sense.
some inconsistencies. Carlos from Prime Animation says it was Hollywood's way of bashing men. They destroyed the legacy of Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's fair. I have no retort to that. They basically did.
And and here's something about The Last Jedi, and I will never forget this when I went to see the movie. It might have been, it's possible it's one of the top 3 films I was the most hyped for in history.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
most hyped films I've ever been for, and also and are Transformers: Age of Extinction,
Hmm.
Avengers: Infinity War, and The Last Jedi. Those were the
Hmm.
3 most hyped movies I've ever been to. And 2 of them I actually really liked. I don't care what I know Carlos and I disagree on Transformers: Age of Extinction. I know that right off the bat.
Hmm.
But I still liked the movie though. It was fun. And obviously in Avengers: Infinity War was great. We all agree on that. And
Hmm.
but The Last Jedi, man, like the moment Luke was handed the lightsaber, his father's lightsaber, and then threw it over the back of his shoulder, I'll never forget this. I literally said in the theater out loud, "Luke, why would you do that?" Or "Why would you do that, Luke?" And the guy next to me literally turned to me and said, "Dude." Yeah, he said, "Dude." I will never
Yeah.
forget that.
Wow. Yeah, I don't forget that either. It was around the time of my birthday those movies were coming out, and actually went to a theater in Chicago that actually serves dinner. I've never been to one of those. They actually serve you dinner in the theater, and yeah, I remember that. But what about Rogue? I want to end on a good note talking about Star Wars. Again, another one of the
Well,
underrated movies. I don't think this one is as underrated. Rogue One.
no, it's not underrated. It's one of the best films,
Yeah, it's
most
not
liked
underrated.
films.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So I just wish they would do more.
yeah, like
What's that?
what other things don't you like about Return of the Jedi then?
I know the Ewok stuff got kind of weird, and
That was
it's just
fun.
not.
That
The
was
Java
fun.
stuff was cool. It just wasn't as good as the other two to me. So it's hard because you've got the great one. The one is just iconic. Then you're following one of the greatest movies of all time, Empire Strikes Back, and then it's almost like a letdown, but it's not a bad
No,
movie. So
like like to me, the original Star Wars trilogy is the greatest trilogy ever created, in my view. In my opinion, it's the greatest. Um, and here's my top 5 movie trilogies of all time. I'm not sure if you'll
yeah,
agree, but this is
but
my opinion.
mhm.
Number 1, obviously the original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah,
Number 2, the Dark Knight trilogy at number 2.
yeah,
Number
that
3,
was really good. Yeah.
yeah. Number 3, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love those
Oh,
movies.
absolutely.
Number 4, the Godfather trilogy.
Yeah.
And number 5, the Back to the Future trilogy.
You got good ones there, man. I don't know if I can think of a trilogy. Somebody in the chat help me out. I can think of movies that had good starts that went to bad trilogies. like
And
like The Matrix, the first one,
I
iconic.
like I liked Matrix 2 and 3. I
It
liked
was all
them.
right, but yeah, it's not going to be. Well, they got worse. They
Uh,
would never be in this class that
uh,
you just mentioned, though.
the Indiana Jones trilogy,
That would be that's a close one into those classes. The
the toy
first, which one
the,
was that?
the Toy Story trilogy.
I don't even remember. I
Toy Story.
remember the first one. I never got into those. So were they that
Oh,
good?
oh yeah, they were. hmm
So Scream, I like the original Scream movie. The trilogies, I don't think were. You didn't like the original, the
I
first
love them.
Scream.
I love them. I love the
Mhm.
first 3. Yeah, I overall enjoyed the 4th one, and yeah, I haven't seen 5 or 6 though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they made sequels for Naked Gun, right? The first Naked Gun to me is a classic.
I don't recall actually.
Okay. John
Um,
Wick.
I love John Wick, but John Wick is its own little thing though. We kind of
Mm-hmm.
it's fun, but it's also ridiculous at the same time. It's some of the most. I have a lot of fun watching the John Wick trilogy. I have a lot of fun watching that. What other trilogies are there? The Planet of the Apes trilogy, the reboot one.
Oh yeah. That was actually good.
Oh yeah.
That was well done.
Captain
Yeah.
America, that trilogy was great.
Yeah. But you know the one that you said that really stands out is the Dark Knight. Is that how they call it, the Batman trilogy?
Uh-huh.
Man, of course, the Dark Knight. You want to talk about iconic movies? The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah.
Just
Heath Ledger is the best Joker of all time. My favorite
rest in
one.
peace. Yeah,
And
man.
I remember seeing The Dark Knight, and when it came out, it was in 2008. I was 6 years old, and I went to see it with my uncle. It was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. One
Mhm.
of the greatest. Right? And you know something? The Dark Knight has my two favorite Batman sequences of all time. My favorite one is you remember when the Joker was he was driving that semi and the Batman was on his motorcycle,
Yep. Yep.
that entire sequence. And when
Yep.
Joker saw him at Batman coming at him, and he said, "Oh, you want to play? Come on, yeah."
Mhm.
And the way Heath Ledger said it,
Yeah, and the writing. You know, you got to do that if you're going to do these superhero movies, and a lot of them are terrible to me. A lot of these superhero movies, it's just the writing and development of the characters is terrible. In that Batman trilogy, they set the characters up. It was about there was, you know what really helps is when you get into philosophy. That's what Star Wars got into. Going to TV shows, Star Trek: The Next Generation. The show was really about philosophical ideas playing out, and that's what the Joker was. That's why people still bring it up to this day.
yeah. And another great scene I love in that movie, it's my second favorite Batman scene, is when Joker's captured and Batman is interrogating the Joker.
And yep.
And you know something? When you see Batman actually punching the Joker, you know something? Christian Bale was actually punching Heath Ledger because Heath Ledger told Christian Bale to punch him as hard as he could, and those looks and the way Heath Ledger was reacting to it was amazing. Like when Batman was saying, "Where are they?" and Joker said, "Killing is only but a choice," and then he punches him, and he actually punched Heath Ledger, and then after he kept punching him, he started laughing.
Mhm.
So I have no idea how he was able to do that. That just shows how great of an actor Heath Ledger was.
Man, to do that in a comic book movie, just outstanding.
I also love that scene. I like Joker's magic trick today, like the pencil.
Yep.
I think you should. It would be great to have him and John Wick to have a scene like that sometime, like
Yep.
the pencil trick.
Yep. Yeah, that movie just makes you remember every scene, and that's when you talk about Batman movies, because my son's into the comic book characters and stuff, and I tell my son, he says, "Well, this guy's a good guy, that guy's a bad guy," and I'm like, "Yes, generally speaking, that's what people believe, but that's just a matter of perspective. You can have an opinion that Joker's the good guy, Batman's the bad guy. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be able to articulate and defend it, and both of them are equally as crazy." The Joker and Batman are equally as crazy, just on opposite sides of philosophy, and you can argue either one of their positions, and that's the beauty of Batman.
Like Batman and the Joker. Like if you did you see the Joker movie? I love them.
It was a great movie. Great.
The thing that I love about it is that Batman and Joker were born on the same night. That's the thing I love about it.
That is interesting how they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's parents were killed at the same time as Joker actually became the Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, that's and they're making a sequel. I hope
it's a musical. Apparently.
Wait, what?
The Joker 2. It's a movie. They're actually making it like a musical like thing. Which
What are you talking about? A musical?
I'm not joking. They're actually there's literally going to be songs playing, and they're actually going to be singing apparently in the movie.
No.
Like,
don't do this.
I'm not joking with that.
No, Ray, don't.
I'm not joking.
Don't.
I'm
do
not
that,
joking.
There's
Look it up. Look it
No,
up.
bro.
Look it up.
And are you talking about the same Joker that I'm talking about?
Yep.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yep.
No,
Yep,
you said they're going to be singing in it. What are you talking about?
With Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
No, you're not serious.
Yep. Look it up. Carlos, you know this. I guarantee you've seen this. Like, they are doing that. I'm not joking with you with that. Joker 2 is going to be a musical.
Lady Gaga is going to be in Joker 2?
Yeah, she's playing Harley Quinn.
I could see that. I could see that, but
yeah. But Carlos, you know it. Joker 2 is going to be a musical. So
Joker 2 is going to be a musical. What?
I'm not joking. Yeah, Joker 2 is going to be a musical.
Joker 2 will be a Lady Gaga sing-along.
Mm-hmm. Told ya.
You're not. This is Babylon B.
No, it's not.
The first film was a decidedly straight male phenomenon. This is from Vulture. Oh, my goodness. We can't even do it on this. What do you think? Do you think that's politics?
It is politics. I don't think we can like talk about that.
Bruh, that is... We can't even talk about a Joker movie without this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Why are they're singing in the Joker movie? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say, man.
And Joaquin Phoenix was one of my favorite Jokers. Like, he was great. Like, he actually got scary in that movie. It truly did.
I agree, because that was around the time. What happened? There was some type of big incident. There's a movie theater incident that happened, I believe, around that time when that movie came out.
No, that was The Dark Knight Rises, remember?
No, I thought there was one with Joker. Maybe I saw it at a different time.
No, that was a different movie.
Okay.
I know that was a gang movie that was going on. That had nothing to do with that. Like, but there were a lot of people, like, critics specifically saying that it's wrong to make this Joker movie because it's inciting violence. That's what a lot of people were saying on it.
Yeah. And there's no violence really, not like gory stuff until
there was.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like that bad.
You remember in his apartment scene where they came to actually kill him?
Yeah.
Like he accidentally shot him and he just let the midget guy go for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah. But that mean when you talk about like action, it wasn't like a typical Marvel where it's just explosions and all that. They didn't need that. They had great acting. And at the end, when this is a spoiler if you haven't seen Joker, at the end where he's in the show, he's on the stage and it goes down, that was like powerful stuff there.
Yeah. And it showed just stuff I want to say about that movie that I can't say on this channel because there's a lot of the messages that are deep within the movie. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Now, Nathaniel Erskine says, how about Little Shop of Horrors? Horrors, one of my personal favorites. Love that too. Little Shop of Horrors, that classic. But that's not we don't go to Joker and Batman for that kind of stuff. I mean, maybe you could do it and make it dope, but the first Joker wasn't any musical, so don't do that with the sequel, though. I mean, we'll see what happened. I always leave room to judge it. We'll see, because the first one was dope. But to me, if you're going to do some type of musical, I don't know, it has to be like a separate franchise or something.
Yeah. Like, and also Joaquin Phoenix, I would say he's probably my third favorite Joker, in my opinion. Number one, obviously,
Jack Nicholson. Yep.
No. For me, For me, it's Heath Ledger, who's number one.
Okay,
number two, I have Mark Hamill, because he's a great as the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix is third. Jack Nicholson is fourth, and Cesar Romero is fifth on my list.
Where's Jack?
I have him at 4. Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Jack's 4. Okay, I missed that. Okay, Jack's 4 on your list.
Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, Joaquin Phoenix, Jack Nicholson, and Cesar Romero. We don't talk about Jared Leto, though. We don't talk about him.
No. Yeah. So when you're bringing up Mark Hamill, you're talking about the Batman the Animated Series? Where was Mark Hamill Joker?
He played him in Batman the Animated Series.
Okay, you're bringing up the cartoon.
And he also played him in the Arkham games, too.
Yeah, in the video games?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you include that, him number 2, the animated series was really good. That's hard to compare the series to the movie for me, but yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing what Carlos said. I watched the first one, but I wasn't, I assume he says wasn't a fan of it. I don't like victimized villains. Joker has always been something I can't say on the show, and
Mhm.
in the current environment, everyone is now a victim. Like
Hmm.
there's a me and him, Carlos and I kind of disagree on this to a certain extent because
Mhm.
me and him disagree on Spider-Man No Way Home because I love that movie.
Mhm.
He has a certain opinion on it. Like I agree with him what he's in that comment that he made afterwards. I'm not going to say that name here, but if you look at that down there, I can't say that.
Yeah.
But like
That's a good one by Carlos. Is the guy I should say guy with the funny mustache? Was he a victim?
uh,
No,
uh,
good point. But let me see. That's
Car,
a good
Car,
argument about. See, to me though, Carlos, that we're talking about the Joker, the first Joker movie. If you don't know the Joaquin Phoenix one, which that movie could have just been. It didn't even have to be a Joker. It could have just been a standalone movie. I think it started out as that. But Carlos's point is they tried to make the Joker in that movie a sympathetic figure. Would you agree with that, Ray?
yeah, and I think that's what they had to do. That there's no other way they could have done that, in my opinion.
I agree, and that's the beauty of it. To me, what Carlos is bringing up is the beauty of that movie, where it's like, wait a second, this dude is wacko crazy, but I'm kind of sympathetic to him. That's what makes it great. Where you're like,
Yeah,
man, I don't know. There was some sympathy to me for the Heath Ledger Joker too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And also I would say this though: if you watch Infinity War,
Mhm.
do you think it was wrong that they made Thanos somewhat sympathetic? Like
You
the
have
dude
to.
was like there's
To.
no like. I just a lot of people say it's his movie. I disagree. I don't think it's his movie. I think it's clearly an Avengers film. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
But there's no what they had to do that with Thanos. They had no choice because like
Um,
in they could what in the comics the reason why he was doing what he was doing was because he was in love and wanted to impress death. Oh, sorry
Yep.
about that.
Yep. No, I think
Uh,
that's gives you the
and,
dynamic. Yep. Go ahead.
and plus they didn't at the time they didn't have the rights to the character death because at the time it was owned by a different studio. But another thing is like if even if they did, can you imagine in a live action movie that just would not work? He's trying to wipe out half the universe just because he wants to impress a lady he loves. That just would not work, man. It would not have.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I mean, I think you have to. That's kind of like what I was saying when I talked with my son about, well, it's just a matter of perspective. Who's a good guy? Who's a bad guy?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and and plus, I don't think every villain is sympathetic. There are some like in Mario Brothers, for instance, Bowser's not sympathetic. He's just a bad guy,
Yeah.
that's something I liked because
Yep.
that's how it was in the video game.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Do you want to get to? We like
Oh,
to talk about different states. I mean, before we run out of time here,
oh,
do you want to
there.
transition, or
Oh,
what do you think?
one more thing though, before then
Yeah.
we can transition.
Oh yeah.
When I told you that me and Carlos kind of disagree on Spider-Man No Way Home,
Mm-hmm.
you haven't seen the movie yet, but you really need to see it. It's to me, it's amazing. The thing that me and him disagree on, because I'll just tell you what the basic story is. Like you in the trailer, like Spider-Man when he tries to make people forget he's Spider-Man. In the process, he goes to Doctor Strange and a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of Spider-Man villains from like
Mm-hmm.
Sam Raimi and like the Andrew Garfield universe. They get pulled in. And here's the thing, though: they get pulled in at the moment before Spider-Man killed them, because the whole point of it is like they all died fighting Spider-Man. That's the whole goal, the whole point of it. And in the movie, like Spider-Man, when he finds that out, he tries to save them. The reason is because like he feels guilty about it. And what Carlos and I disagree about is like kind of, at least I should say, is that saving villains is wrong. Like because like
Well, who thinks it's wrong? You
Carlos
or
does. Carlos
okay?
thinks that like,
Mm-hmm.
and my point is like because like a point he made is like well, these people are causing destruction and they're being forgiven. And well, here's something that I think they weren't forgiven, because here's why. Even though he saved them, here's what I think happened: because they were pulled in the moment before they died. And what I think happened was when they went back to their universes at the end of the movie, they still died anyway, because it was the exact moment before they all died. So they all
Mm-hmm.
died anyway. And if not, they were all taken to prison, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of the debate with a lot of like Batman too, right?
Mhm.
Batman's constantly saving villains before because he doesn't want to necessarily unlive them. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Or
um,
Ben
we
Aff-
let
Ben
yeah.
Affleck's Batman, he
Mhm.
killed people. Like and I actually didn't have too much of an issue with that personally. Like the Dark Knight trilogy, in my opinion, handled it the best, because Batman, he did unlive people, but he only did it when he had to. Like Ra's al Ghul.
Exactly. And Batman had that upbringing from his parents got unlived by a robber, and he didn't want to necessarily, do that same type of act. Even if somebody was bad, he had principle. The Batman that I enjoyed the most is the Batman that never used a gun. Never, he was against guns because of how his parents got unlived.
Really, I just want great stories at the end of the day. That's really what I want.
Speaking of great stories, sub up to Prime Animations. They got a great story coming out here soon. If you want that Transformer type vibe. Transformers was a philosophical show. I'm talking about the original one from the 80s. That's the only one that I truly remember. It was all philosophy. Megatron and Optimus Prime, good and bad.
And there have been some incarnations that make the Decepticons more sympathetic. Like in Transformers Prime, like here's an interesting thing. Like in the original cartoon, the Decepticons were just evil. There was no explanation other than the fact they were just built evil. Really.
Yep.
And in Transformers Prime, what happened was, like, I'll give you the basic idea before you watch the show. That on Cybertron there were different people that were treated differently. It wasn't equality, and that's how the Decepticons rose up, and because they were against that pretty much.
Wow. That's good stuff.
So like that kind of makes Megatron sympathetic, even though he does become like a psycho eventually. So yeah. But in the comics too, the reason why they became like the Decepticons was because like in the original Transformers comics, the reason why the Decepticons formed was because like on different moons and stuff like that, the Transformers would mine a lot of stuff for like resources and energon and stuff like that. But then they created machines, and then had the machines do it, and all the Transformers lost their jobs pretty much, and that's how the Decepticons formed, because they all lost their work. So kind of makes sense, even though a lot of the stuff they do does not justify that though.
Yeah, for sure. So we like to talk about states from time to time, and pretty much every show we pick a state to talk about. We live in a beautiful country. There's not a bad state in the union, but to me, one of the most beautiful that I've been to. There's only a few states I've never been to. Montana. Why'd you think about talking about Montana? I have some fun facts to talk about, but what do you think, Ray?
I love Montana. Like, I haven't taken a trip there yet, but I want to. It was also like one of the places I would think of moving to if I ever did leave Iowa. If I ever did, that is one of the states I would consider. Like obviously Montana is basically like the wild. It's almost like the Wild West, except it really is. Like there's like just over 1 million people that live in the entire state. Just over 1 million. Like, and it's a huge effing state when you really look at it. Like, it's really huge. It does get very cold and very snowy. But something I really like about it, the mountains. I love the mountains in Montana. Love them. And plus Montana, when you really look at it, it's pretty much buffalo country.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very peaceful. So I've been to Montana a couple times, and it's the first thing that's memorable is just the striking beauty. Like you said, the mountains out there. You've got part of Yellowstone out there, national parks. You've got, like you said, it almost reminds you of the Wild Wild West in a way. And you feel, to me, there's a feeling of liberation there. It's like you said, 1 million people total in the population of the whole state. You've got
just over 1 million, I believe.
Not many people. I think they only have one representative in the whole state. Two. Is it two? So they have two reps in the whole state. And because the population isn't that large. But, another thing is there's a lot of celebrities that have taken time out there. Phil Jackson is from there, I believe, still lives there.
Joe Rogan takes trips out there all the time.
Yep. Glenn Close, David Letterman. So a lot of people, Jeff Bridges has at time his own property out there. And that tells you something. To get away from the hubbub, somewhere's peace. If you value independence and liberty and peace, I don't know if there's a better state in the union for you than Montana.
Montana and Wyoming.
Yep, and right next to each other.
And
Uh,
plus, Montana and Wyoming are pretty much the same state when you really look at it. Like almost everything is exactly the same. Wide open spaces, not many people there. Pro 2A, there's mountains,
mhm.
there's buffalo. Like they're really the exact same state, just different names pretty much.
Yeah, Wyoming's beautiful too. Not much there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like drive through country, but you can drive through, and when you go up north through there, and a lot of people might have reservations about going through those parts of the country. Let's just say, I've
Your Nathan said something in there that I'm not sure I can say actually right here. When where the yeah
yeah, well, I don't know why we can say that. I mean, we're not making any type of
statement,
it's
but still,
yeah. It's that's the vibe, Nathaniel in the chat. Christy Jackson, thanks for stopping by.
that's my own mom.
That's your mom?
Yeah, Christy. Yeah,
Yeah,
she watches my stuff all the time. So yeah,
that's great. Shout out to Ray's mom. We chatted one time in a live. I remember that was a great live, man. We've done so many, I don't even remember which one that was. But Montana, if I had let me tell you, I'm not going to get into the politics on that, but if I had, if you told me 5 years ago, you got $1 billion, where would you buy property? 5 years ago, I would have said San Francisco, believe it or maybe even more than that. I would have said San Francisco. I love San Francisco. San Francisco is a beautiful urban city, or at least it was. Now I would say Montana, Wyoming. Why do you think Ye? Ye has a studio. I think it's in Wyoming. Was it Wyoming or Montana? I think it's Wyoming.
yeah. It's actually a ranch he has.
He has a ranch in Wyoming. What is more? I talked with my wife, like, hypothetically, if fun conversation, we got $1 billion. What would we do? Get a ranch out in Wyoming or Montana and get some farm animals. I'm not a farmer, but I learned how to farm. Get some border collies. You do?
Yeah. My family on my father's side were farmers.
So you got it in your blood. Get a farm, get you a couple goats. No, nothing too big, because it's that's your life. But if you got $1 billion, you don't have to worry about that. You get out, fresh air, you take care of the animals. We love border collies. Get like 5 to 10 border collies, let them run free. That would be a dream scenario.
If it ever happened, I'll come with you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
there's people out in Colorado that live that life. We actually bought our dog from a breeder who lives that life out in Colorado, nowhere somewhere. Beautiful ranch property with acres, and they got like 30 border collies.
Yeah. Like maybe that would be a state considered to, if ever considered to move to.
Yeah, and land in those type of areas is getting more expensive now.
Yeah, but still though, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When
More
you
than
go out
worth
there, yep. The downsides are, depending on where you are, to get hospital care, emergency care. Sometimes they got to take a helicopter to whatever I don't know what's Billings or whatever the nearest city, wherever you are, is.
The capital of Montana, I believe, is Helen. Correct? I believe
Helena, or is it
Helen. I don't know if it's Helen or Helena. I forgot.
Okay, I don't even. I know what you mean. I forget exactly which. So it's Helena.
Yeah.
So, depending on where you're at, and, you might have to get life flighted or helicopter out. So there are like some downsides to it, but to learn to be independent, you have to be somewhat independent living out there, chopping wood or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know how to do a lot of that stuff because I learned a lot of that stuff when I was a kid, pretty much. Yeah. From my father's family, that I learned a lot of stuff from them.
So you already got that in you, and I'm all about that life. I'm full. Now, I'm not going to lie, I still need internet connection. So I might have to get a Starlink or whatever the case may be. But in those in those atmospheres, I'd be much less internet oriented. I'd probably be listening to podcasts while I'm taking care of the farm animals. But that's the life, man. I mean, that's a beautiful life.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, if I had $1 billion, I'd probably go out there and and buy a ranch, and no one would probably hear from me for like 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, you'd be like, what happened to Ray Studios? You'd be chilling out in a ranch in front of some river or lake. They always got these beautiful lakes out there with the background of the mountains and the trees. Just beautiful, almost like mentally cleansing type of atmosphere, fresh air, not the hubbub of the city. A lot of people tell me they want to run away from technology. Where do you want to run away from technology? You would go to a place like Montana.
or Alaska.
Oh, okay. Carlos in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you don't mind me calling you Mama Ray, says I always will support you and
Oh,
your friends, man. That's a
yeah,
beautiful mother,
yeah,
man. That's a
yeah.
beautiful thing right there.
Oh, yeah, she is. Yeah, yeah. Also,
Carlos, yeah. What did he say? Say what Carlos said there.
BS. Neither of you can go to another state before visiting Florida. LOL. Well, I still do plan to take my trip down there. Like
I.
I don't know if you'll be able to, but I'm going to try to go there because like I'm looking back at it. I should have gone right when I said I was going to, even though you weren't able to. I should have still gone. I really should have.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my money right, so I still want to go down there for sure. So that is not. Consider that postponed. Carlos says, if you don't know what we're talking about, Carlos has been, gracious enough to say, hey, you guys can come through Florida, show you around, so we can meet in person, and that'd be wonderful stuff. To me, it's just postponed. I just got to get my money right, but yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's going to be. I think that might be changing, Nate. I think that might be changing.
Yeah, isn't that?
Not.
I
It
thought
hasn't.
they.
It
Okay,
hasn't.
they
It hasn't changed yet, but I think it's going to be. At least I heard. At least I think so. I could be wrong on that, but I think I so though. I think
Yeah,
so at
so
least.
yeah, that's got to change in Florida. I thought there was a bill that was just recently signed, but of course in Montana you can open carry.
Yeah, but man. Like if either of us win the lottery, we should all let each other know and maybe see about a place in Montana or something like that.
Oh, that's a done deal, man. That's what I mean. It's
Well,
just a matter of when, where, if we, win the lotto or something like
yeah,
that.
and then we can actually get that studio that I've been trying to talk to you about getting.
Yeah, I mean that's what Tim Pool did. Tim Pool used to live right outside of Philly, and made that move to country, more rural area, and he became pro 2A. Same thing, me. I'm very pro 2A now. I think it's even a necessity. It is
It
a
is.
necessity. It's not even I'm pro 2A. It's a need.
Here's it. Also in like Montana, Wyoming, you need open carry because if you see a giant moose or a bear come at you, like or a wolf, you're gonna need or a coyote, you're gonna need something to defend yourself.
Yeah, I've never seen a moose in real life. I've seen the videos. It is stunning how big the males are, how big they are. I saw elk. So I think it was in Colorado. We're in the mountains horseback riding years ago. I think it was in Colorado. And I'm on a horse and I see these animals in the corner. I'm like, damn, those things are big. Are those other horses? You get up, it's an elk. The thing is like bigger than the horse I'm on. And I don't know how to horseback ride. And the horse I'm on starts rearing up. I'm like, oh, shoot. And then I didn't fall off, but the horse got scared of the elk and then the elk ran away. But those things are huge.
Yeah.
Even the women, the female ones.
Yeah. Nate says Montana is constitutional conceal or open carry, same as Alaska where I work. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Great. Oh, I didn't know that, Nathaniel. You work in Alaska. That's great, man.
Yeah. Also, I take it he moves through many states, so he says he has this in Colorado too.
Yep. Yep.
Carlos,
mojitos. Yeah, let's get some mojitos.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I'm looking at trying to get it set up. Like I said,
Yeah.
I know Osiris was canceled last time because he had no choice to. I should have still gone anyway. I should have. I look back at it. I regret not going. I do. I admit that.
You're a young man. You're a young man, Ray. You got a whole, by the grace of God, life ahead of you. So yeah, it's not too late. And is Adam's down there too, right?
Adam and Sal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Adam. I mean, I've been following Adam's channel. Adam was a boss, man. Adam, yeah.
Ed and Jason, they live in Georgia too.
Okay.
So yeah, they come down to Florida a lot, from what I heard.
Everybody's going down to Florida. You look at the things, and there's various reasons for it. But you look at the people fleeing New York. Like they're fleeing New York. They're fleeing California by the thousands, going to all different millions, going to states like Florida, even Montana and stuff. If you got the money in Colorado, some of them.
Yeah. And it's actually cheaper to live in Montana than it is in Florida now, if you didn't know that.
Wow. Because Florida, that demand is crazy because it was already a haven for your senior citizens But then now you've got all people of all ages going down there, rising the price of, I saw people trying to say like, oh, why are cost of living rising? Well, everybody wants to be there. That's supply and demand.
Yeah, and I remember like, was it Jen or Peter? I forgot one of them saying like they have like a housing crisis in Florida, which they do though. They truly do
Mhm.
because of
Yeah.
how expensive things have gotten. But I don't know what else they could do to fix that other than just build more houses. But that takes a lot of money to do though.
Yeah, that's up to the private industry to do that. You have a place where everybody wants to be. People are going to go there. I think one of the things that will help Florida is if a state like Georgia became more like Florida and more desirable in that way. There'll be more options for people to go to. Right now, people are fleeing there as a safe haven. See, people don't like Montana because here's the other downside of like Montana is you don't have as much culture. You can say what you want about. Oh, I think you're muted or something. No, you don't have the mute on, but it's the
Can you
mic.
hear me?
Yep, got you now.
Okay. What I was saying was I actually disagree with that. I think there is a
Okay.
lot of culture in Montana.
Hmm.
It's actually the wide open spaces, pretty much,
Yeah.
like a bunch of forests and stuff like that, and the
Yeah.
mountains too,
Yeah.
like
So maybe let me correct. 'Cause
entertainment.
yeah, that is a culture for sure. But when you don't have as many people, like you can go to Chicago. Chicago is one of my favorite cities. It used to be at least like not as much as San Francisco, but you got your Chinatown, you got your Greek town, and you've got every single type of food restaurant, and not just like there, just the best of the best, like immigrants who settled there back when there were jobs and stuff, still doing like authentic food from Mexican to Greek to whatever. And you won't get that, to my knowledge, I've been to Montana a couple times, Wyoming. You don't get as much of that. So you get culture, but not as many different because there weren't manufacturing jobs there. There's a lot of Jamaicans in Cleveland because there were jobs in Cleveland back in the day.
There are a lot of Native Americans in Montana, a lot of
Hmm.
them, because there were a lot of not every state, but there were a lot of states where Native Americans actually settled, like Georgia, all the way up to North Carolina, Virginia, all the way to Montana. I believe I don't know all the exact specific ones, but there were a lot of states, a lot of
Hmm.
areas. I don't recall which tribe was actually in Montana though. I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't remember all the names of the tribes, but yeah, all throughout that whole area of the country it's fertile, as far as like you had the water, you had the animals to be able to unlive and to eat off of it. It was ripe stuff. In the winter it was cold, but they used their resources to the hilt and used every inch of the animals back then. Native American culture is just a beautiful thing. I know most of it. I haven't read many books on it, but just from going to museums and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm part Cherokee on my mother's side,
Oh,
my mom's side. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm more than Elizabeth Warren. So,
you're petty, man.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty fun too. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, we have like a couple minutes left before we go. Like before we end this, did you want to talk about like some of the worst movies you've ever seen before?
You can, yeah. Let's talk about the first thing that comes to mind. Have you ever seen the movie Howard the Duck?
I like that movie, man. It's fun.
Wow.
It's fun. It's so ridiculous that it's fun. It's
I can see that. I can see that. I
Yeah.
always think of that movie as the worst one. What movies are you thinking?
My top 5 movies, and like
Yeah.
this to me is solid. And when I say it, it's in order. And I'm pretty sure Carlos, there's at least one of them I think Carlos has too. Number 1, Battlefield Earth.
I
Uh,
never saw that.
you, it's horrendous, man. It's the worst movie ever created. No, number 2, Catwoman with Halle Berry.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that was bad.
the,
I don't know
the
if it's the worst,
yo,
but it's
the,
bad.
the only good thing about that movie was Halle Berry in that suit. Other than
Oh,
that,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
there was nothing else good.
Maybe that's why I'm hesitant.
Yeah. Another one, Highlander 2. Highlander
Never
2.
saw it. Was it that bad?
Oh, Highlander 1, one of my top 15 favorite films of all time. Highlander 2, to me, is the third worst movie ever created.
In the chat, give me some of your worst movies of all time.
Number 4, and I know my mom, she disagrees with me on this. because she loves this franchise. 50 Shades Darker.
Is it 50 Shades of Grey thing?
Yeah, there's
See,
3 movies.
the first one was bad, right? The
It was
50s, it was
all
terrible.
all 3 of them are crimes against
Yeah,
humanity.
yeah.
And number 5 is 50 Shades Freed, which is the third one. 50 Shades Darker was the second one. 50 Shades Freed was the third one. And
Yeah.
my mom loves those movies. She saw those
No,
with
but
she saw them with my stepdad in the theaters. So yeah.
yeah, but I'm sure she would agree the books were better. I didn't read all the books. I think I read the first book, believe it or not. It was good actually. It wasn't bad. It's one of those tailored to women, but
It's the book was made off of Twilight fan fiction.
it's not a bad book. I mean, yeah, I mean it was big. I think I read it because it was such a big. Back in the day, that thing was you couldn't go anywhere without hearing about it. So I think I'd eventually I might have got it from the library and kind of, it wasn't bad. If it wasn't good, I wouldn't have finished the book. But the movie was terrible because the acting was bad, the directing was bad, just not good.
There was no story. All it was just dirty scenes. That's all it was.
Yeah, there was no character development. You didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about them.
And I'll say this though, these kind of movies you can get away with. Same thing with comedies. You can get away with if everything else is bad and if it was at least like sexy and stuff like that, you can say, okay, it's not a big deal. It's like you can say it's okay, but the movies weren't sexy though. They were not. I'm not.
Yeah,
joking.
I agree because you didn't build anything up, and I agree.
And it just got creepy too because that dude Christian Grey, he was a creepy dude, man. Like
I think you could have made him creepy, but it's just the way they did it. It felt like a Lifetime movie. That's what it felt like to me, like a bad Lifetime movie.
Yeah, and same thing with like a comedy. If you get everything wrong, but it's at least funny, then you can say it's okay. Then yeah, but if it's not funny, or a sexy movie is sexy, it's no.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Mom, Christian Grey was creepy. He was. If you I'll tell you this.
Your mom's going off on the chat. Ray's getting lit up by his mom in the chat. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, Mama Ray.
Oh, God. Yeah. Here's the opening scene of the second one, 50 Shades Darker.
I never saw that one.
I said I'll say one positive thing about it. One positive. There was potential with the opening scene. The first movie ended was oh, they can't be together, blah, blah, blah. Literally 5 seconds in, I like you back. Okay.
I know. But that was kind of how the books were, though, because you know what I mean?
Here's what I thought had potential. When I said Christian Grey was creepy and stuff like that, as he's talking to the waiter, he's being a dick to the waiter, being rude and stuff like that. I was like, there's potential here. You can do things with the character like this. Yeah. They don't, of course, but at least there was a possibility there.
Yeah. I couldn't believe they made a sequel because the first one was so bad to me that
it's a crime against humanity.
Yeah, it's a terrible. So I would put that on one of the worst I've seen. When movies are bad, I tend not to finish them. So I don't even remember a lot of the bad movies. I've seen a lot of movies are bad.
Have you ever went to a theater and actually walked out of a movie?
I fell asleep during one of the Superman movies back in the day. I forget it was one of the whack Superman movies.
Superman 4: The Quest for Suck.
So I've never walked out because I paid my money, man. I'm gonna get my popcorn. I don't think I've ever walked out of a movie.
I think Carlos, you have walked out at least a couple before. I think you have. You said you did at least. At least you fell asleep in a couple of them. I know that. Yeah, but these are actually some good examples, but I don't think they're as bad as the 5 I said. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat 2, which is Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
That was bad. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, I like the first one though. I like the first one, but
you know what they could do though? They could bring that back like the Super Mario Brothers style, and do something that could be good.
Yeah, could be. It could be.
Because Super Mario Brothers, the trailer and everything it encapsulated everything you liked about the video game. And you can do that with Mortal Kombat. I think they should do it with not a live action, just do it with the Super Mario.
Yeah, you can. I Did you see the Mortal Kombat reboot they did like a couple years ago?
No, I didn't see. Nope, I didn't
I
see that
enjoyed
one.
it. I
Okay,
enjoyed
was it
it.
good?
I enjoyed it. It wasn't
Mm,
great or anything, but I
yeah,
had a fun time watching it.
yeah.
It was brutal though. It truly was
Well, it has to
brutal.
be. Oh, in
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. I mean, it has to be. That's part of the game. It has to be. It should be above rated R, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Any other horrible movies that you can think of?
Shoot. There was one with J Lo I saw that was terrible. You know the one with J Lo where she gets divorced from the dude. It's not the worst ever, but for some reason it just was kind of corny to me. What was it
Uh,
called? The fight back one.
I don't recall that actually. I don't.
She got divorced by the dude. The dude was abusive, and it was
Yeah.
another. Those Lifetime type movies are just cringe. They're so corny sometimes.
Yeah. The Last Jedi is up there for me.
Oh, bro, don't do that.
I'm sorry, it is. I'll say this though. I think the Wicker Man reboot, that horrendous
I
movie,
didn't see. I didn't see that.
it's better than The Last Jedi. Mhm.
Oh, come on, man! You just keep
I'm so-
It's not like you're alone. A lot of people crap on the Last Jedi.
Like it was The Wicker Man, The Happening, The Room. Like yeah, like those three movies, they're so horrendous that they're actually hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes the movies are so bad, they're funny.
But like a movie like Battlefield Earth, it's so bad. It's so bad. It makes me want to smash my head into a concrete wall.
There was a movie about water. What was the movie that was about water that had like a big budget back in the day?
The Last Airbender.
No, I forget. Shoot, it was terrible though. It was hyped up, and back in the day, $200 million budget was a huge budget, and I guess that's a huge budget nowadays because movies don't make as much. But I forgot. I have to look it up, and it was just a bust, and it was a terrible movie.
Yeah. What are some others? Like, there's a few of them. I think.
Hmm.
The Last Airbender. That one was horrendous as well.
Hmm.
Like, it was a yeah. Like, there has to be a few more.
Water was it Waterworld? Was it Waterworld? Waterworld. This
I've
is
never
from
heard of that.
'95. Yeah, it was terrible. Let me see what they gave it in Rotten Tomatoes. I'm curious. I would say that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Yep, it's Rotten Tomatoes 40, audience score of 43.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Battlefield Earth, in my opinion, is the worst movie ever created.
Rotten Tomatoes has that as a 0.
Yeah. What
Was
film?
that other Was it J Lo? Was it J Lo and Ben that did that movie that was bad? Shoot, your mom might remember.
50 Shades?
No. Gosh, it had a one-word title.
What was it?
It
What
was
was it about?
awful. Oh my god, they got clowned. It was a
What was
love. It was like a rom-com, I believe. I'll find it real quick. But
Twilight?
no, I don't think. No, it wasn't Twilight. I'll find it real quick.
Evil Dead was a great movie. That movie was great.
Geely is that is that called what's called?
I've never watched that movie.
Yeah. Let me see what Rotten Tomatoes has on that one. That one's terrible. I bet you that one's under 20%. Oh my goodness, yes it is. I don't even know how to pronounce it anymore, but Geely 13% audience score.
Look up Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth, I believe, is a 0.
Yeah. Or Catwoman and Highlander 2. Look those up. Yeah.
Battlefield Earth on Rotten Tomatoes has a overall. That's John Travolta was in that. I forgot that.
Yep.
12%.
That's too high. Way too high.
John Travolta's like those checks came through. I'm good.
Yeah. Like, I'll give you an example of how truly horrendous this movie was. The dialogue and everything with this. There was actually a scene where Travolta says this in the movie. Before you were even learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies. I'm not joking. And he said it that way too. He said it that way as well.
That's got to be some bad directing because John Travolta is a decent actor. I mean, he's a good actor, right? Or
But
you don't.
He's an okay actor.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I would say he's above average.
Yeah, but that the worst line of dialogue I've ever heard in a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and you may disagree with me on this, but it was from 50 Shades Darker. The worst
What-
line I've There's a swear word in this, so what I'll do is I'll just I'll just say the first letter of that word, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there is an actual scene between Christian Grey and two women, and he says to one, "You may have taught me how to F, but she taught me how to love." And I'm like, "Oh my God, did he really just say that?" I was like that when I saw the film. Oh my God.
Which Star Wars though was the one where Anakin said, I don't like sand"?
He said it in the first two.
In one of the first two, that was a terrible movie. That was a terrible
Mom,
moment.
Mom, no,
What'd she say?
that's so
Geely,
sweet.
yeah.
No, not the movie. I'm talking about that line of dialogue that she said.
Oh.
No, it's no.
It didn't. It's how you deliver it too, and the whole context.
Oh my God! The fact that was even someone actually thought about that and wrote it down on paper, and it was actually filmed. Oh my God! Like that there is some dialogue that's so bad it's hilarious, and some that's so bad it's, oh my God, it's a crime against. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some other films? What is Catwoman's on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, what is Catwoman? The Halle Berry Catwoman. I would guess that's probably 50%. It's probably not as bad. Oh, it is worse. It's worse than I thought. Wow. I didn't think it was that bad. There's 18%. Wow, I would have given it 30, 40 maybe. One of the worst. You're right. One of the worst ever there.
Check Highlander 2. Highlander 2, The Quakening.
Highlander 2?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come back to that Catwoman, though. The Halle Berry situation going on.
Oh, my.
I forgot about that movie. I forgot that movie even exists.
That's the worst comic book movie of all time as well.
Highlander 2?
I mean, Catwoman.
Oh, that's the worst one of all time, you think?
Yep. Catwoman's actually is not only the worst comic book movie of all time. To me, it's the second worst movie of all time.
Wow. Highlander 2. Oh, my goodness. Highlander 2, at least from the critics, got a 0%, audience 23.
Oh, my God. That's too high of an audience rating. Way too high.
That's very low, yeah.
Like, the first one was one of my top 15 favorite films of all time.
Wait,
top
why
15.
is The Crow? They rated The Crow. What is The Crow? Is that the original? There was only one The Crow movie, right?
There was 3, I believe. 3 or 4.
Oh, were there 3?
3 or 4 of them.
Because I'm seeing one, Crow, City of Angels, with a low score. I thought The Crow was a decent movie.
Yeah. The first one was amazing.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Lee's son. Like,
yeah.
You know how the story was? He got killed on set?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It came up again after the whole Baldwin stuff came up, but yeah.
Yeah, but I love that movie. It's a great movie.
That's a great movie, yeah. Yeah, so it was a different... I didn't even know they did sequels. Yeah. The original one has 90% audience. So that's why I was weird. I was like, why is it so low? So I didn't even know they did sequels to that. Wow.
Yeah. What are some other horrible movies?
There's other movies I kind of like that other people probably didn't like. Do you remember this movie called Darkman from back in the day?
I don't recall that.
It was 1990. Oh, no, it got good ratings. I liked the movie, and it got a... Well, no. So this is audience score of 59% and experts 84%. I liked it, but you can see a lot of people didn't.
Here, you have any guilty pleasure movies that you know are pretty bad, are awful, but you actually get a kick out of it because it's entertaining?
Rumble in the Bronx is a dope movie. You remember Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie?
No. I never saw that.
Yeah.
Another one for me is Alien Resurrection.
Which one was that one? Was that the recent one?
No, it was the last one with Ripley. The last one with Ripley. You can look that one up.
Alien Resurrection.
Yeah. The movie is, it's pretty obvious, but it's a guilty pleasure for me.
I don't remember that one. Yeah, it's low scores, 39 audience.
Yeah.
I know. I might not have even seen that one.
I watched it with my father a lot when I was a kid. I watched it a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, the first Alien obviously is like a classic. I mean,
the first two.
Yeah, classics.
Yeah.
But that was a good example of strong women characters. Nobody has a problem with them. It's, how you do it. Because those are all Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah, Sigourney Weaver, Linda Hamilton, Carrie Fisher. What was a few others?
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, but those are the ones I like. But yeah.
Yep.
All right. You think we should end the
Yep.
stream right now and start watching a couple episodes?
We're gonna watch some Transformers here. We're gonna end the stream though. Check us out. The link is in the chat, pinned in the chat. Our channel is PCD, Prestige Culture Dynamics, no politics. Thanks, Ray. This has been a good one.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Like this was a great episode. I can't wait to do the next one as well.
Yep. We'll pick a state, different topics. Let's go.
All right. Thank you all for coming. This has been Ray and Osiris from Prestige Culture Dynamics. We'll catch you guys later. Catch you for the next episode. Have a great day. God bless you all.